Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Live in the Hive, the cool way to calm show with me, Dr. Annika Sorensen from Sweden. Today, I want to talk about an important thing for stress management, actually. Okay, I'm going to talk today about your network, your connections, the people around you, who you surround yourself with. Because in my work with stress management, there are a lot of things that you might need to change to have a calmer life. And I always say that you first need to have the mindset so that you actually do want to have a calmer life and want to do something about it. Then you have to upgrade yourself with energy that I talked about last week, getting good energy by good sleep, good eating, and exercise. And then when you do have the mindset and the energy, then you can start doing changes in your life. And there are so many things that we can change and that we might want to change or might not. And it's always, what do you say? It's not the same for you and for me because we have different problems. Everyone has different problems. And you have to figure out what your need is. So I usually go through all the different parts of life when we work about how to manage the stress in my client's life, because it's so many different things. And one of the big issues can be your network. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And that is, are your connections gaining you or are they draining you? That's the main basic question. And this actually, the things that the connections that we have, they start when we are born, because we live in families and we have all the relatives and the families in different ways. And we inherit both words and actions from a very, very young age. And most people don't think about it or see it, that you actually do say things that have been said in your family for decades, or that you do things that your family have done. You have opinions that your family have had for decades, and you take them for granted because it has always been like that. And in other families, they have other opinions. And I mean, you can see that in the world where people, the differences that we have, and they come with you from the beginning. And it goes back not one generation, it can go back many generations of what we are supposed to do and what you are supposed to say and what you are allowed to say in your family environment. And then you bring that with you out in the workplace, first in the school years, and you get your place in the popularity scale in school, and you learn all new different ways of how to behave and what not to say and what to say, not because you want it, but because all the other people want you to do that, or you feel you have to for one or the other reason. And then it goes on when you come up to work, where there are rules, and in some workplaces there are really a lot of rules, and you're not supposed to say this or that, or you're not supposed to do this or that. And then if you do wrong, everyone is going to be against you. And it is first when you realize that this is how things are with your connections and the people around you, that you have to actually take an active stand on what you want to do, how you want to have it, what you really want, what your opinions are for you and not for what other people think. And that's when we start, that's when we have to start changing. for ourselves. And when we start to change because we want to, and we want to be in another way, we want to do things in another way, then a lot of people around you are going to try to stop you. They are not going to cheer you on and say, oh, so good, you are doing such great progress and all that. No, they are going to stop you because they are scared that you are going to be different than they are used to, and they want you just like they are used to, because then they know how to treat you, how to do, and everything will be in status quo. And you are trying to get out of it. So you have to be prepared that there are going to be maybe even struggles to do changes. But you have to see for yourself what you really want. And you can't change anyone else. You can only change yourself. This is the only person I can change. I cannot change anyone else. I can change myself. And when I change myself, other people have to relate to me in a new way. So in that sense, I can maybe, so to speak, change other people, and maybe they will actually see the difference, and they will want to do the same thing. Or you are growing apart. Those are the solutions of this. And I mean, there is not one size fits all solution to this on what you can do or want to do, or how you can do it. It's there are as many solutions as there are people. And if we start with how you behave towards other people, then if you put on a positive side, you smile, you look at people, you listen to them, and so on, then you will kind of, it's contagious, so they will kind of get the same thing if they are susceptible. Some people aren't, but if they are, and then you're going to spread a positive way of being, and people want to be with you, and that might help them to be a better self of their better self too. But you are not going to be able to change everyone, and there will always be people in your nearby that you might have to relate to one way or the other, because you're at the same job, you're in the same group, you're in the same organization or wherever, and you just can't put them totally out of your life. And those people usually drain your energy. And my advice or my thinking of what to do is that you have as little contact as possible with those people. You prepare yourself when you're going to meet them, because they might come back on you and try to change you back to who you were. And you have to be strong so that you are prepared and have whatever you need to have to stay the way you want to stay. And then you be prepared, you know what to say, you know what you want, and you just do what you need to, and then you leave the room, or so to speak. And the worst part of the end part of that kind of persons that you have that you can have in your surroundings are if you have psychopath. They are really hard to have and to have around. And if you ever figure one out that this is someone with those tendencies, I have one advice, that is leave as soon as you can. You can never change them. They will never ever understand and they will only eat you, so to speak. So there is only one way to do it, and that is to leave. I was in a cooperation once with a psychopath, and I had 3 months of hell to get out of it. But the only way was to actually just leave and lose whatever you need to lose, and it's not worth it to try to save it. So just leave. But those are of course the far end of it. But there are all these people that are negative, they are naysayers, they are victims, and if you have them around, they're going to drain your energy. Because there is a saying, and that is, you become, or you behave, and you go towards how the 5 closest people in your life or in your connections are. And I mean, if you have a big family, that's not what you count. It's the people that you surround yourself with every day outside. And if they are naysayers and grumpy people, you are going to go towards the grumpy way, because it's contagious. All feelings are contagious. So you just have to stand up for yourself and try to stay out of them, and surround yourself with positive, happy people that are cheering on you, people that want the best for you, and people who are yes sayers in a good way. And I think I will stop with that, because I think I got what I needed if I look at my papers here. So this is what I wanted to share about network and how to think, and some thoughts for the future. And this was all for today, and see you next week.